Hello Cowboys Nation. Here's another round of Dallas Cowboys news. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like it so it doesn't time out. CeeDee Lamb's bold prediction of Dak Prescott will catch the eye of the Dallas Cowboys legends. CeeDee Lamb broke not just one but two of Michael Irvin's Dallas Cowboys records in Week 17, but quarterback Dak Prescott knows all too well that his start is far from over when it comes to setting new feats. Lamb entered the game with 109 receptions and 1,424 yards in this 2023 season. With that, he was expected to surpass Irvin's single-season reception record of 111. As for the receiving yards record, it was up in the air if Lamb could record 180 yards to surpass the Cowboys' Legends mark of 1,603 in 1995. Throughout the night, however, the 24-year-old wide receiver seemed motivated not only to win, but also to set new records for the Cowboys. The way he equaled Irvin's 111 receptions was quite memorable, as Lamb made a reception too. The play also helped him surpass Irvin's record for receiving yards, which he finally did by securing a 20-19 win over the Detroit Lions. When the dust settled after the controversial game, CeeDee Lamb had 13 receptions for 227 yards and a touchdown. Dak Prescott talks about CeeDee Lamb record. Dak Prescott, for his part, was very proud of what CeeDee Lamb accomplished that night. The Dallas Cowboys were also celebrating the induction of legendary coach Jimmy Johnson into the team's Ring of Honor, so what the young player achieved only made the day even more special. A team legend was able to witness a player become a legend for the team. You can't make this stuff up. Outstanding. That's who CeeDee Lamb is. Tonight, what a great opportunity for him to have the game that he had, understanding that this was coming into this game with records on the line, and I didn't know that until you guys told me, but I made sure he'd understand that. The yards after the reception, getting open after the 2.3 seconds, beating man coverage, getting in the right spots in the zones, he can do it all, Prescott said, according to the team's website. Speaking to reporters after the game, Prescott also expressed his belief that Lamb will only add to his track record with the Cowboys. The Dallas QB even promised to help his receiver achieve that. He's really starting, and I can tell you that as long as I'm here, he'll probably accumulate those records every year, to be honest with you, Prescott said, via ESPN's Ed Werder. Lamb can add to his tally with the Cowboys set to play another game in Week 18 against the Washington Commanders. Lamb has 122 receptions and 1,651 yards after the win over the Detroit Lions, and is on pace to break 130 receptions and 1,700 yards before the end of the regular season. Dallas Cowboys survive late controversy and narrow victory over Detroit Lions. There was a moment on Saturday when the Detroit Lions celebrated as if they had stolen victory against the Dallas Cowboys in the final seconds of the game, hailing Taylor Decker's seemingly successful two-point conversion attempt, before they were called back by the referees for a Detroit penalty for an ineligible man in the box. The Lions' second try was marred by an offside call on Micah Parsons, the third try was unsuccessful, and the Dallas Cowboys survived the late controversy to snatch a 20-19 victory. Detroit was trailing 20-13 with less than 2 minutes to go, but Jared Goff and the Lions' offense marched down the field, culminating in an 11-yard Amon St. Brown landing. We get there, we get the touchdown, and we get the two-point conversion, and yeah, it sucks, Goff told reporters, per NFL.com. It sucks, man. I don't know if I've ever had that feeling before where you feel like you've won, but you haven't. After the game, the controversy continued when referee Brad Allen said in a report with Calvin Watkins of the Dallas Morning News that Decker had not reported as an eligible receiver while Dan Skipper, a reserve offensive tackle, had. Decker later said, according to NFL.com, that he did exactly what coach told me to do and went to the ref and said report. The Cowboys' victory ensured they remained unbeaten at home this season and extended their winning streak at AT&T Stadium to 16 games. Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb had a career day, finishing with 13 receptions for 227 yards and a touchdown, setting a new single-season franchise record for receptions and receiving yards. His record-breaking game was crowned by an electrifying 92-yard touchdown, when quarterback Dak Prescott avoided a sack in his own end zone before throwing to Lamb, who beat the defense and ran for more than 50 yards. "I really don't know where to start," Lamb said after the game, according to ESPN. "Shout out to the defense for bailing us out. I told you guys I'd like it better if we won, and we did." Both teams have already secured their places in the playoffs, and the Lions have also won their first division title in 30 years, while the Cowboys can still win the NFC East division if the Philadelphia Eagles lose at least once in their last 2 games. The Lions finished their regular season against the Minnesota Vikings in Week 18, while the Cowboys face the Washington Commanders. The refereeing controversy leaves the Lions confused, as the late 2-point try was disallowed and the referees penalized Lions forward Taylor Decker after he picked off a pass, apparently the winning play, with 23 seconds remaining. Decker was cited for an illegal touching penalty for failing to properly report as eligible. Ultimately, the Cowboys thwarted the Lions' 2-point attempt, securing a 20-19 victory. After the game, Campbell expressed his frustration, stating, "I don't like to lose, and that's what happened. We lost and it bothers me. I don't like getting an L, so that's the frustration." Conflicting reports emerged from the Lions and the referees. Quarterback Jared Goff said Decker had reported as an eligible receiver, while backup offensive lineman Dan Skipper had not. However, referee Brad Allen, in a pool report, stated otherwise, claiming that Skipper was deemed eligible and Decker was not. A video showed Decker talking to Allen, who passed on information to the Cowboys' defense. Allen clarified in the pool report, "So, Decker is ineligible to play a pass that goes over the line, which makes it a foul. So the point is that number 70 reported it, number 68 didn't." After the defeat, Decker and Skipper chose not to go into detail about the penalty. Decker stated that he did exactly what the coach told me to do, while Skipper commented, "I have very few words that won't get me fined." With 1:41 remaining in Detroit's final drive and trailing 20-13, Campbell informed his players that they were looking for the win and would maintain an aggressive approach. Despite a late 11-yard touchdown from Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown, bringing the score to 20-19, the Lions failed on 3 2-point conversion attempts. 2 attempts were nullified on penalties, one against the Lions and one against the Cowboys, and the final play resulted in an incomplete pass to tight end James Mitchell. Lions confused as refs reject 2-point try and Cowboys win. Arlington, Texas, Detroit Lions coach Dan Campbell was visibly frustrated after a controversial penalty negated what would have been a green 2-point conversion in Saturday night's loss to the Dallas Cowboys. Referees flagged Lions offensive lineman Taylor Decker after he received a pass that appeared to be the potential game winner with 23 seconds remaining. However, Decker was called for an illegal touching penalty for failing to report as eligible. "Would you be frustrated now?" Campbell said afterwards. "I don't like losing, and that's what happened. We lost and it bothers me. I don't like getting an L, so that's the frustration." The Lions and the referees gave conflicting reports afterwards, with quarterback Jared Goff saying definitively that Decker, the Lions' starting left tackle, reported as an eligible receiver and that Dan Skipper, a reserve offensive tackle, did not. Skipper also later said that he did not report to an official. What did you think of this news? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any Dallas Cowboys news. Thank you.